What you are seeing is a made camp with the Warbonnet Blackbird hammock and, believe it or not, the Warbonnet SuperFly in porch mode. Let's take a look at that a little bit closer. The way I have that tied out, it's actually not tied at all. What we're using are some tent poles. Swing around here and you'll get a better look at how that's all put together. That's right, I'm using tent poles to hold open the Warbonnet SuperFly, and believe it or not, these tent poles are off the shelf. I did not have to modify these tent poles at all to set up the Warbonnet SuperFly in this mode. Those tent poles are REI Half Dome 2 replacement poles that you can buy right off the shelf at REI. And it holds the SuperFly open like that. And we'll get up a little closer and I'll show you how the whole thing is rigged out. So here's a close-up of the REI Half Dome 2 tent poles going through the Warbonnet SuperFly. And the tent poles already has those peak knuckles, and through the poles they're shot corded. And all I've done, this is the peak, that's the peak of the SuperFly. You can see here where the tie buckle is for the peak of the SuperFly. And what I've done is these tent poles just go through the pull-out loop and then through the bottom of the SuperFly where that final loop is, and that's where the end of the tent pole is. So the tent pole through the loop at the peak, off to the other side, the other loop, and then way off to the bottom of the other side of the Warbonnet SuperFly. We've got this now tied down at all four corners. The SuperFly using the Half Dome 2 tent poles. See how those go through the existing pullouts. We'll just come around here. They just come down here. The existing pullouts all the way down. That's all existing Warbonnet hardware, and the tent poles just meet at those tie-out loops. Before I tore this thing down, I wanted to be sure and thank two Hammock Forum members for the idea of the tent poles on the outside of the Warbonnet SuperFly. So I'm thanking CPVerne and TenderToes. I was following a thread that CPVerne had started, and he had the mod for external tent poles that he had fashioned for the outside, and he also thanked TenderToes. So I wanted to thank both of them as well for the idea of the external tent poles, which led me to the idea, and I remembered the REI Half Dome 2 tent poles that were off the shelf, and again they're a perfect fit. No modification needed. So again, thank you, Hammock Forum members CPVerne and TenderToes. Great idea, and this is my variation on your idea. Thank you again.